Combat Casual, Combat Sports Today, wrapping up the weekend of combat sports. And what a weekend it was. You had the K-1 World Max, UFC 322, 173, Eubank and Ben. There was BKFC. Heard that was really fun. But yeah, it was just a huge, huge weekend for combat sports all around. Every sort of combat sport was having just seemed like a big event this weekend. Phil, what was your favorite fight, or maybe what event do you think won the weekend?
Whew, man, that's a tough question. Man, based on the K-1 highlights, because I didn't tune in live by some of the fights. Like they had a lot of bangers over the card. I mean, you would know because you watch pretty much majority of the cards over the weekend. Um, I definitely felt like most of the events, like at least top heavy, did not live up to the hype as I expected. Like, for example, like Chris Eubanks and Conor Ben too. Like I thought that would be a great fight. I mean, it was a good fight, but it wasn't as great as the first one. Well, the first one, these guys were trying to kill each other, and then the rematch is like, oh, I gotta get that win, kind of play by the points. Um, I would say probably my favorite fight of the weekend was Superbomb Masaki Noiri. That was probably my favorite fight of the weekend. Second fight is probably Dennis Puric and Takeru. UFC wise, I don't think there was a fight of the night, if I'm correct. I believe there was a lot of great finishes, but it wasn't a fight of the night, if I'm correct. But yeah, my favorite fight of the night was Superman and Nuiti. What was yours?
Daryl Verdonk, and he fought a guy whose name is escaping me. Hold on. He fought a guy named Alassane Kamara. Oh my god, it was just that fight was so ridiculous. And we'll kind of talk a little bit more about K-1, but he took so much damage in that fight and moved on to the next round.
Really bad right now on my side of things.
Okay, you're perfectly good to me. We should be good. Let us know if anything's lagging on your guys' end.
Yeah, I think. All right, you seem good right now, so let's go.
Okay. So, yeah, Daryl Verdonk took a lot of damage. He actually had made it to the final, like shockingly. We'll kind of get into that. But yeah, that would definitely be the fight of the weekend. I personally think K-1 won the weekend just as far as entertainment value is concerned. But I think 173 won the weekend the most just because, number one, when we already did a 173 breakdown, if you guys are interested in watching that. But the last pay-per-view they had in Japan, it had so many issues, crashed out a bunch of times. People were complaining. And it was so bad that they even issued refunds to people. So
it made it free.
Yes. So I think 173 was a huge success. So I would say they won the weekend. But as far as entertainment value, like, and I'm a little bit biased. And also I didn't watch BKFC, which I heard was great. I think K-1 won the weekend. And I think generally kickboxing is the highest entertainment value combat sport you can get, especially J-Kick. But that's just my own personal opinion. Let's get into a little bit of K-1, and then we can touch on kind of, like I said, we already did a one championship breakdown. Go check that out on my channel, Combat Casual or Combat Sports Today. And we'll kind of touch on some other things like afterthoughts of one championship. But yes, the K-1 World Max happened. I'm not going to really go over every single fight on the card because we'd be here literally all day. There was 20 fights on this card. But I am going to touch on the tournament. So in the first round, you had Stoyan Kraplevenski. Got a pretty decisive win over Hercules. The Thai couldn't really do much to Stoyan. Again, just like on 173, like the pressure of the Dutch style of kickboxing, really takes its toll on a lot of fighters. It's a high pace, very exciting style. Stoyan gets it done in the first round. you actually had an alternate round as well with the Himalayan Cheetah and Jonathan Ayulu. The Himalayan Cheetah was getting boxed up by Jonathan Ayulu, and the Himalayan Cheetah, he's got a lot of hype on him. A lot of people from Nepal come into my streams when he fights, so he's got a lot of hype on him. But I would say his punching game is not very developed. His kicking game is very nice. He has a lot of weapons, but his punches are just not on point. And Jonathan Ayulu just boxed his head off, so he gets a unanimous decision. But yes, the fight of the weekend to me, Daryl Verdonk versus Alassane Kamara. If you guys have a chance and you can find this fight, go back and watch it. It was a war. All 3 rounds, banger after banger. I don't know how these guys were even standing. And Daryl Verdonk advances to the next round. You then had Jonas Salsisha dominating Ouyang Fang, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Phil, did he win last year's K-1 World Max?
I believe so, because I know Uyan Fang's coming off a big win over Kapper Mazinski, if I'm correct. And I think Uyan Fang is actually the champ, the K1 champ, if I'm correct, right?
Okay. Let me actually check. I have his record right here.
I like when I look up Uyan Fang, it pops up like some martial arts character from China.
Yeah, so he's undefeated in K1, but he got a dub over Kasper Muzinski, and that would have been opening match of the tournament. So Ouyang Fang beating Kasper, who is a pretty awesome kickboxer in his own right. But yes, Jonas just dominated him. I mean, Ouyang Fang. I mean, so the issue with fighting a guy like Jonas is he's so tall, and he's got hands. Not only does he have kicks, but he has hands. You know what I'm saying? So he dominated Ouyang Fang. And then go ahead.
Actually, the K1 champion too.
Okay, got you.
So he's a super welterweight champion.
Good to see Dead Space, Kenny, and Juan Do. Yeah. So yes, I mean, Jonas just fucked him up. And as you'll see, that's an ongoing trend with this tournament. But in the next qualifying round, the last qualifying round, Zora Akopian got probably the knockout of the night. Hellacious punch. Knocked Imeric out cold. It was super, super gnarly. You did have some good prospects on the card. Okubo Rui gets another knockout. I think this is like his 3rd knockout in a row, at least 3rd win in a row. And then Leona Pettis, I think he was one-time champ of K1. He got dominated by a guy that's really young, early 20s, Tomoya Yokoyama. Very impressive win for him. So heading into the semifinal, with Stoyan not taking much damage in his fight, and then Daryl taking a lot of damage, I was like, okay, Stoyan's got this, and Stoyan's a great kickboxer. Daryl Verdonk makes this a war and knocks out Stoyan in the 3rd round.
So, from what I've seen on Twitter, is that was he losing this fight actually, and then he came back in the 3rd round? Yeah, it was probably 1-1. I wouldn't say he was like being dominated or like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just shocking to even see the way he performed after taking as much damage as he did in the quarterfinal. So yes, to see him just put it on Stoyan and knock him out. Honestly, moment of the weekend, just like there's no way he should have been able to do this over a guy like Stoyan. And you know, like in these one night tournaments, like the amount of damage you take in a previous fight is a big, factor. So yeah, and then strangely, after getting a quick 1st round knockout, Zora Akopian has to pull out. I think what happened is he punched his opponent so hard that he broke his hand. Most likely.
So yeah, Jonathan Ayulu ends up stepping in for Zora, and he gets knocked out in 30 seconds by Jonas. So you're just like, oh god, poor Daryl. Oh, this right here. I think it was Ishii. Hold on a second. Yeah, Ishii Issei. This freaking guy right here, dude. This was one of the best kickboxing fights I've ever seen. 2 knockdowns apiece, possibly a third for Ishii. Just an absolute war through and through. And yeah, you can see the scorecards here. 28-26 was the final score. So like a lot of
It was a straight up
knockdowns.
war.
It was amazing. Awesome fight. Again, this is another one if you can go back and watch. It wasn't like as much of a war as Daryl and Kamara because they were kind of getting knocked down, and then like it was pretty one-sided for Ishii, but Kamara and Verdonk were just in the pocket the entire time, just throwing hands. It was insane. But yes, another really good fight. Ariel Machado gets a very quick knockout over Roel Manert. You know about Ariel Machado. You know how much of a just dangerous kickboxer he is. He's really putting the heavyweight division on notice for K-1. K-1 actually announced on this card too. They're going to do I believe a Grand Prix in Italy with Thandafree, Lucy, and KG on it. And so Lucy does have a win over Ariel Machado, who did fight at light heavyweight, but at heavyweight he's kind of unstoppable. I do want to see who can beat Ariel Machado in K-1, who can even pose him a challenge, because right now his last 2 fights I've seen, seems like the light heavyweight's got to move up to try to dethrone him.
Yeah, he's fought in Glory. He's fought in, I believe, in one as well. I think for a bit. I don't know. I'm positive he did fight for one. If not, but he definitely fought for Senshi. And he fought some of the top guys. He's lost to Artem Bakitov, Yusuri Belgari, and Lucy as well. But he's beaten some notable names. I want to say top names, but notable names like Guto Innocente, Reese Brundell, Errol Zimmerman. Yeah, and he actually knocked out, I think, Lucy's boy Fang Ru to win the K1 title.
Yep. That's the fight I saw. His last fight.
He looks a lot better at heavyweight. Obviously, you don't have to cut weight anymore, but props to Ariel. It seems like he's going to be like kind of like the face of their heavyweight division for now. I know they announced a 90 kilogram tournament. I believe that's cruiserweight, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yeah, that's the weight class below heavyweight. And that division is stacked with some of the names I had listed a little earlier.
Pretty cool tournament. I like when they get the big boys in. 90 kilograms, yeah. I kind of consider them the big boys in a way. They're just like a division below or two. But yeah, should be a fun tournament. I think it's on February 8th. It's already got like 2 title fights already confirmed for that. So February 8th, they're going to be, I forgot, something.
I think it's in Italy.
No, it's in Japan. It's
okay, I didn't know that.
I think it was like Yonagi, like stadium or something like that.
Gotcha.
But that's what I saw. I saw on the website because I made a post about it. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. This guy, Roel Manert, I believe he was the K1 heavyweight champion, right, in this fight? But he hasn't like defended in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he fought, which is really strange. And then like Ariel Machado's like the tournament winner, so it's all very confusing. when you have a world max champion and like an actual champion, it gets kind of weird to me, at least.
Yeah, I don't get it. It says K1 World Grand Prix heavyweight champion, so is he just not a K1 world champion, or is he a K1? I don't know. I really don't get the titles. But it's funny enough because his last fight was in 2020 and for Glory, and then he comes back to K1 to defend his title after 5 years against KG. I'm just like, what? So you can literally hold on to the title for 5 years?
And then if you remember division. And if you remember, KG knocked out Jerome LeBanner like in very sad fashion because Jerome LeBanner is really old. So a lot of people kind of like were high on KG, I think, just because he won the K1 that night.
KG won the K1,
or I think he fought Roel Manert in or something like that in the final. Either way, Manert, he smoked him, so that kind of gave him a boost. But yeah, like you can just see that a lot of these guys at heavyweight and K1 are not on Ariel Machado's level.
Dude, did you know KG has won 2 fights since 2020?
And one of them is Jerome LeBanner. Who's the other one?
Some other freaking Japanese dude. We're not gonna speak on his name. And then he beat a Sidney Caribbean for the cruiserweight title back in 2020 as well. So he's a former K1 cruiserweight champion.
Okay,
but yeah, he's lost. I mean, he lost against Sinner in a rematch. So he's lost about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 fights. He's 2-8 in his last 10.
Oh my god.
And let's say, and K1's just like, screw it, let's just throw him in a tournament.
Why not? Yeah. Good
Why
to see
not?
Alina in the chat, by the way. So yeah, moving on to the Asahisa defended his belt. I mean, it was walk in the park for him. Actually, wait a second. Does this say? No, I was like, did it go to extension? All right, yes. So then you had Daryl Verdonk, obviously the underdog story in this one, taking a lot of damage in the quarterfinal, smoking Casper, or sorry, Stoyan in a banger of a fight in the semi. Everyone was hoping he could pull it off, get the win. It would have been one of the craziest things that ever happened in K1 history, but nope. Jonas, too good, knocks out Daryl. And Daryl had actually been knocked down with a body kick. And you could tell that, like, after that second body kick, he was just like, fuck this. Like, he had taken way too much damage. Credit to him for, trying to fight on. But yeah, Jonas is just too good, man. This is a great K1 World Max. I love kickboxing so much. I love K1. And I really do think that they're making strides to, do things better. Abima has Abima Global now. This pay-per-view was like $20 on there. Just the thing that does suck about Abima and K1 is Abima Global is their worldwide distributor for pay-per-views and big events, and it's not available in every country. So
yeah, sadly,
yeah,
it is what it is.
I think they're trying. Though, so
they're trying. They need to. They need somebody better to run the social media, though.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. They got a sick website, though. Look at this,
dude. I love their website.
It's the best one.
Dude, when I'm making like K1 posts, bro, I just love going to their website and using one of their photo galleries, going on the photo galleries and making a sick graphic with their photos. I wish all promotions did that. It just makes life so much easier.
Right.
So shout out to the K1's website.
I do want to see Zora, who got a win in the quarterfinal, fight Jonas. I think that's the next fight to make, So you got a quick knockout. Hopefully you can recover soon and maybe get a fight with Jonas on the next K1 card next year, hopefully. All right.
I think Jonas is going to you think he's going to rematch Ouyang Fang? You beat the champ. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think you should get the rematch and a title shot.
Most likely. I think yeah. Let's see Jonas get the dub in that one. See if Zora can get another win, and then we'll do Zora and Jonas for the title. I think that's the way to go.
You know who was giving Jonas props on Twitter?
Who?
Take a wild guess. You'll never guess it. MMA fighter. MMA fighter.
Alex Pereira.
Brazilian. Nope. Charles Oliveira.
That's sick.
That's what I said. I saw Charles commenting on like Beyond Kicks post. He was like, he just said like, you're just saying like, let's go, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and Brazil flag.
Obrigado.
But yeah, obrigado. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see. So,
all right, I think so. So the next event chronologically that took place would have been Ben and Eubank. We kind of briefly were talking about it. Did you end up watching this fight in its entirety?
Did not watch the entire card. I came back. Well, remember I was telling you that there's going to be so much events that I might have to sleep in tonight a little bit later in the afternoon just so I could stay up late. It still didn't help me, but I just stayed for the main event. And honestly, this fight, it wasn't bad. It's just it wasn't as good as the first one. And like Eubanks honestly didn't really show up in this fight. I think he was more timid in this fight, kind of flat-footed. You know, he had a sick ass entrance with 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. He was wearing a white mink coat, looked like he was a damn cloud or like the Michelin Man or something like that.
Dude, he came out with 50, and it was 50 was performing Many Men and all that, and then it was he's like, oh yeah, this dude's ready, man. He's ready to get it back because I think his dad hasn't lost to Ben's dad. I think it's like a draw and one win.
Yeah, so they had a banger fight the first time, and then a draw in which some people thought Nigel Benn should have won. So yes, up until this point, the Benns had never had a win over the Eubanks. And yeah, so I didn't actually watch the first one. I heard it was an absolute war. What I had heard is that Conor Benn was just kind of fighting wildly, and kind of didn't have the gas tank to keep up in the later rounds. So in this fight, he had a perfect strategy, man. He was light on his feet, throwing body shots, a lot of body work for Conor Benn. Eubank never was able to get going, was on the back foot. I think he probably landed like maybe 5 good shots the whole fight. And Conor Benn just cruised to a decision. It was honestly very impressive from somebody that I thought was more of a brawler than a boxer. So it shows that he's evolving.
Yeah, he wanted to prove people that he is like a true like technical boxer. He's not the most technical, obviously, but like he wanted to prove like, yeah, I can box. I'm not just a brawler, you know. And you know, when you have a rival like Chris, especially a family rival, you want to take this fight serious. You want to get a win back for your family, get it back in blood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he landed the better shots, obviously, especially in the last round where he dropped Chris twice, because that made me jump out of my seat because I already thought Conor was gonna win. You know, some guys just want to cruise in the final round so they secure the win. They don't want to do nothing. Conor is like, nah, dude, I'm still gonna try to knock you out. I don't care if I already won this fight. So he dropped him twice, and had Chris hurt. Didn't end up getting the finish because Chris stayed in there until the final bell. But yeah, it was an easy win for Conor Benn, in my opinion. And it's not as good as the first one. I mean, the first one I might have put it like one of the greatest fights that I've ever seen, like
Oh
just
wow.
in general. Because like the build up for that fight was incredible. The build up for this rematch was terrible, to be honest. I think there was less heat in this rematch than the first one. Come on, you got the egg slap. Come on, that was iconic. And then you had Chris Eubanks Sr. finally showing up for Chris on the day of the fight. They had the whole moment where they came out the car together, you know, and then yeah, it was incredible. Like the whole show and everything. They had it at the same stadium too, but the magic wasn't as good as the first one. The magic of the first fight was incredible. They wanted to kill each other. They just wanted to hit each other. They didn't give a fuck about the game plan. It's like, no, I'm gonna punch you in the face as much as I can. I'm not gonna win by points. I'm gonna knock you out. And that was literally, if you have the time, go watch this fight. One of the greatest boxing matches ever seen. But the second match, good, but not as good as the first.
It did kind of bother me that they had this whole like extravagant walkout and they kind of went in there and had a mild fight.
Yeah, agreed.
Obviously, there's going to be a third match. Do you have Ben Eubank fatigue, or are you looking forward to a third match?
For me as a fan, I don't like to see rematches or trilogies rushed. I like to see guys get a couple fights in, depending on how the second fight went. Right? If it's controversial, then you can argue for a trilogy right away.
Yes.
But this fight, there's no controversy. First fight was close, but I had Eubanks winning regardless. This fight was kind of just Conor Benn kind of won like what 8 or 9 rounds out of the freaking 12. So there's really no need for rematch. I want to see something new, right? I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big fan of rush rematches or rush trilogies. So I think maybe both guys get 1 or 2 fights after, and then you build up for the trilogy. And Chris said he wanted to take some time off. Conor said the rival's pretty much done now. We'll see what happens. We'll see with Turkey how much he's throwing.
Right.
Because Chris Eubanks
Money
Jr.
talks.
said, yeah, money talks. It's funny because Eubanks Jr. was like, Turkey said, name your price, and I'll see what I'll give it to you. And Chris thought he had a good amount of money that he'll probably say no to. And Turkey or whoever was like, yeah, we'll do it. He was like, fuck, I should have said more. And then the fight happened. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Chris has a giant coat habit he's got to fuel with that money. Not coat. Anyway, bad joke. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. People were telling me like, oh, if Chris lost, then they were gonna say like he was too weight drained. And if Ben lost, they were gonna say, well, Chris is too big for him. So maybe Chris will be fighting in a different weight class, get some dubs, and then a little later they'll fight. I personally feel like they'll probably do a third fight just with the money that Turkey is throwing around, but that's just me. There was another fight on this card that was very interesting. It was Jack Catterall versus Ikao Esman. Decent fight.
Yep.
Catterall looked sharp in the first, couple rounds, and then Esseman started taking the fight over. It was pretty clear that by the 11th, Jack was going to win, up on the cards at least. And then, kind of out of nowhere, he hits Esseman with like two good shots, gets him on the run, lands a hook that literally knocks Esseman out of the ring. Highlight reel KO, and it was like kind of shocking because it was the pace of the fight was like back and forth, just like, oh, okay, like Jack Catterall was up. And then all of a sudden he just decides to go and knocks Esseman out of the ring. Super impressive finish for Jack Catterall, a fighter that I like quite a bit.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see the highlights, so I might have to look that up later. So I've seen a couple of Jack Catterall fights. Honestly, not the most impressive fighter I've ever watched in boxing, but he's fought some big names. I don't know if he's beaten some names. I know one of his fights, Regis Progress, that he fought not too long ago. Before that, he fought what's his name? It was like a big rivalry fight. Do you remember who he fought? I think it was
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor. Yeah, he fought Josh Taylor. So yeah, that's really much for me. All for me in boxing. I really just tuned in for the Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn rematch. Good fight, just not as good as the first one. Am I excited to see the third one? No, not really.
Yeah.
If they lived up to this, like how they were in the first fight, then I wouldn't mind seeing 3 straight bangers like that. But yeah, that's it for me for boxing.
So I go get some food, chill out for a little bit. The UFC card starts, and I kind of had this one on the TV. I didn't go live yet, and I'm just like eating my food, messing around, and kind of glance over. I'm like, Borshev's looking like he's doing really good against this guy, Camillo. Then they announce the decision, and Camillo wins, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think much of it. And then when I get in the chat, start going live, people are like, did you see that fight, dude? That was a robbery. I was like, really? I didn't watch it. You have any thoughts on this one?
I did not watch this fight, to be honest. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was in the middle of watching the Eubanks and Conor Benn fight during this time. So I was kind of wrapping up, and I was getting like prepped for one championship later tonight. I was taking like a nap right before like 7 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed like the early prelims, but I did hear about this fight. I mean, I did what people say was a robbery, right? Apparently.
Yeah. From what I understand,
that's what the streets were saying.
And they showed the striking numbers. They were kind of close, but the control time for Camillo is, I think, what put him over the top. But it seems to me like there are fights where they will count control time towards the winning of the round without a lot of damage, and sometimes they don't. So it kind of just depends on what judges you get as far as the control time is concerned, in my opinion. But again, I didn't really watch it closely, so I can't really say much.
By the time I got to this fight after that, that's when I really kind of locked in.
Yeah.
I got into like the third round of the next fight. That's when I really kind of just locked in.
Yeah. So you had Baisanger Surkayev versus Eric McConico. I had picked Baisanger God, I cannot. I had to say it slowly the first time. I had Hunter. I had him knocking out McConico in the first round of my preview video. And he struggled with Eric McConico. McConico was doing really, really well in this fight. And he kind of forced Baisanger to clinch him up. And it was kind of like not the most. It was exciting because like McConico was landing shots, but I was like, oh man, like Surkayev is just holding this guy,
Yeah.
By the third round, he gets him out of position, lands that hellacious right hook, puts him out cold. Exciting, fantastic finish for this guy, but he clearly has a lot to work on. He is only 24, but I kind of was bothered by all the hype he was getting just for being training partners with Hamzat. So it just shows that he has a lot of work to do. People are saying, oh, fraud check. I'm like, he got the win, man. Like, can you give him his win and give him his flowers for, I mean, I think it shows a lot to be able to be down in a fight and then come back like that, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this hype train got really, hyped up pretty hard because he's Kamzat's boy. The fact that he's Russian, he's undefeated, So I think a lot of people get a little bit excited when they see that. But I'd say just give him time. He's 24 years old. He's 11-0, right? If I'm correct, all 11 of his fights are end by finish. So well, let's build him up, right? We don't want to create another Bo Nickel or something like that, where everybody
Right.
hypes up this prospect and then like he has a mid performance. Oh, he's done. He's a fraud. Yada yada. Give these guys some time, man. Of course, you're not gonna have. Not every fight is gonna be great. Like I remember when Sean O'Malley was coming up, he had like one of the worst fights I've ever seen. I forgot who his name. I think it was like Terrion Ware. It was such a dog shit fight, and people were like, oh yeah, Sean O'Malley's overrated, yada yada. I mean, I was one of those
Right.
people that was saying it too when I was like when I was like a super casual, I guess you can say. Um, but yeah, but look, O'Malley became a champion. Not saying Bonsagar, Sursakaya, whatever, is going to be a world champion. Anything can happen. Something can derail him.
Yep.
But give him some time. He's 24. I think a lot of fighters don't hit the prime until like 27 and up, really,
Yep.
depending how fast track you get it. And it's middleweight, and I don't think middleweight is really the greatest right now. So he has a
Me
shot.
neither. It's very top heavy. At least we do have exciting fights at the top of the division. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Good to see Zico. Zico, he says all the best to you. What's up, Dirty Hippo? Good to see you. Am I the only one who fell asleep for most of the 322 main event? Well, I didn't fall asleep. I'm sure a lot of people did fall asleep because they were boring fights, and we'll talk about them. But I believe Phil and I both had started watching One Championship by the time the co-main and the main started. So yeah, if you fell asleep during that, I wouldn't blame you. He says, "See, I tried to tell you, you wouldn't listen to me. He's Mini Maev." I was like, "He's not Mini Maev. He's not Mini Hamzat. He doesn't even fight like him." So yeah, he's just
Completely different styles.
totally. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. So you had Fatima Klein, pretty much steamrolling Angela Hill, and I think looking good in the process. I had said in the preview show that it's very hard to look good against Angela Hill. She just has that style and always takes opponents to prospects to a decision. And I thought Fatima Klein had looked really, really good in this fight. Beat Angela Hill everywhere, wrestled her. You have any thoughts on this one?
When I first saw this fight and I saw the tail of the tape, I saw 40 years old, 18 and 15. I was like, why is this still happening in the UFC? I mean, I know record's not everything, but like I understand Angela Hill is very game, but like Fatima Klein did what she's supposed to do. She's a 25-year-old prospect, minus 550, 590 favorite. I mean, that's what she was supposed to do. I mean, Angela Hill's. I don't think she's ever been finished in the UFC, if I'm correct, right?
No,
She's
she
like
hasn't. But yeah, somebody in my Alina in the chat actually was like, "It's time for Angie to retire." I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I understand the sentiment though, because it's just like you got a job with the UFC, you're 40. But see, the thing with Angie is it's like she could still get wins, So
she's a good like prospect.
A good litmus test
for a prospect. Yeah, kind of test her. But I don't really have much to say. Fatima Klein did what she's supposed to do. Wins in her home crowd. Not home crowd. I think she's from Jersey, but close enough. But yeah, she got the job done. Beat a tough veteran. I'm excited to see what's next for her in the division.
Same. Good to see Scott. How are you doing today? Fatima Klein her. Hilarious. Angie should just go dominate the PFL. Come on.
She'll get 2 fights and fight Dakota Ditcheva.
Oh no! So, and then they'll be like, UFC contender destroyed by Dakota Ditcheva.
Nobody in UFC could finish her besides Dakota Ditcheva.
Yeah, right. That's so true. Patty Sabs and Chepe had a tough fight. I had thought Chepe would edge it out. Patty Sabs got it done. Very fun fight. Patty Sabs, man, 35 here at featherweight, still getting the dub. You got to put a lot of respect on Patty Sabs' name, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think they were hyping up Chepe in this whole fight. They're like, dude, he's 4-0 in the UFC, hasn't been looking good. And then Pat Sabatelli kind of just derailed him in this fight. He was 5-0 in the UFC. Yeah, he beat Trevor Peek, Jack Jenkins, Morgan Charrier, Damian Jackson, Ricardo Ramos. Then he ran to Pat Sabatini. He got the job done. 35 years old, and I think he's on a win streak right now, if I'm correct.
Pat
Yeah, he's on a
Sabatini
3-5 win streak now.
is always counted out against more exciting fighters, but super well rounded. And I thought Chepe fought good in this fight. He was on a long win streak. But yeah, just control. I wasn't expecting Pat to totally dominate the grappling. He took Chepe down with ease. Never met any resistance from Pat. I thought if he was going to do it, it would be like with trips and like, sneaky stuff. But nope, just took him down at will. Very impressive performance for old Patty Sabs.
That's his whole game, though, because like when he's not fighting, he's in Fury Pro Grappling, just grappling everybody. He's fun. He's grappled freaking, I don't know how many times in 2024. He's grappled 3 times in 2024, and then 2 times in 2025. So all that grappling matches definitely helped him in the UFC. Obviously,
yeah.
The thing I like about Pat that just shows me he wants to stay active, whether it's fighting or whether it's grappling. So he's always busy. He's always getting to it. So good for him. Got the W. Stopped the hype train. Well, I don't think it was really a hype train with Chepe, but Chepe was undefeated in the UFC. So good win for Pat.
Yeah, and certainly very exciting. Yeah, no, happy for Pat Sabatini, a guy that's always counted out and just gets it done. So, yeah, he had Kyle Dawkins. This was embarrassing for GM3. Talk about guys that need to retire. I think GM3 should. Obviously, he's another one of those guys that just could hit a surprise sub, randomly. Kyle Dawkins hurts him on the feet, gets the quick Darce. Another one for the Darce Knight. People have been trying to tell me like, oh, Dawkins is really good now. He's back, and I'm still not sold. I think GM3 is pretty washed. What do you think about this fight?
I was not gonna say shocked, but like how quick he got it done. You know what I mean? Because like GM3 is like the guy has 20 losses now, so it's not like this dude is not like some hard dude to finish. But he did it in 50 seconds, and he did with his signature his submission, the Darce choke. They don't call him the Darce Knight for no reason, right? And he's beat Michel Pereira in his last fight. So maybe this is like a reinvented freaking Chris Dawkins right now. Not Chris, Kyle. His brother's Chris.
Yeah, he's the Philly. Yeah, his brother's the Philly cop.
Because dude, before he got released from the UFC, he lost to Roman Dolidze, Phil Hawes, Eric Anders, and after that he kind of went on a little win spree. He won 4 straight fights with CFFC. He grabbed the title over there. And then he came back at short notice, I believe. He knocked out freaking Michel Pereira in 43 seconds. And then he beat Gerald Mearshart in 50 seconds. So this dude's on fire right now.
He is.
Kind of excited, to be honest.
And in Cage Fury, wasn't all of his wins except for one a finish as well? So
yes, when he won the title against Greg Ellis.
So I said that GM3 should retire, but he should get a trilogy with an old rival of his. Are you familiar with the name Jay Ellis?
Say that again. You kind of like lagged when you said that.
Oh, are you familiar with the name Jay Ellis?
fucking lagged again. It's like every time you say the name, it's like the word just cuts out.
Oh, Jay Ellis. Do you know Jay Ellis?
Jay Ellis?
Yes. Look him
sorry,
up.
On my side, you're like you're really lagging pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
And right now, your face is just frozen with your smile.
Okay. So Jay Ellis, if you guys don't know, he fought GM3 twice. He has a win over GM3. Jay Ellis got subbed by GM3 in the rematch. I believe his record. I actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay, you're back. Jay Ellis, right?
Yes. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up Jay Ellis's record.
The legendary, the one that has like 100 freaking losses.
So Jay Ellis, his record is 16-112. So I think this is the only fight. This is the people's fight, the real money fight for Gerald Mearshart. Jay Ellis trilogy. You could do it in island fights. You could do it maybe on like a Triller versus special where like they have an MMA fight as the main event. Maybe karate combat, something crazy. Dirty Boxing. Yeah, get Jay Ellis, and he's lost 78 fights by sub. That's so fucking
It's
funny.
horrendous, bro. I just want to say that the stream is definitely clear. It's just on my side. I've been having like internet issues lately, so it just looks very skates like stream like lags for me for some reason. It didn't do it before, but I don't know lately. I think it's because of the weather.
Yeah, no worries, man. Good to see WMC. Thank you for letting us know the stream is clear. Yo, what's up, MMA Holes with the $5? Let's go. Thank you so much. MMA Holes was grinding hard this weekend. Got like hundreds of thousands of views on his one championship stream. So shout out to MMA Holes grinding. Yeah. How you liking that one championship, man? I'll let GM3 rematch Hamzat. That was a fluke win. Just throw GM3 in for the title so you can ride off into the sunset. Hilarious. All right, let's go on. I think performance of the night, Ethan Ewing. I'm shocked he didn't get a bonus. I said that Malcolm Wellmaker was like the lock of the card. Ethan Ewing, man, what a great fighter. Very well rounded. Fights at a high pace. Positionally, he's in and out of the pocket, very nice. Has nice kicks, nice punches. This guy is actually, I believe, is going to be a problem. What did you think about Ethan Ewing's performance?
He showed up. That's what happened. I like Malcolm Wellmaker a lot, but like in this fights, I see him get clipped a lot, which I don't like. I see him get clipped by Chris Martinho, but then again, that's just Chris Martinho being a fucking wild man.
Sure.
But Ethan Ewing, funny enough, we actually were supposed to interview him on the CST channel, so I hope he gets back to our message. But
he's gonna be too big time for you now.
Dude, he was on Ariel today, so I don't think we're gonna get that. I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. But yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, I did hear Ariel shout you guys out, so I think don't you have a direct line to Ariel now?
I don't have a direct line. He follows us, but like we're not that cool, you know. Unless it DMs me, just asking me questions. I'm like, yeah, I got you, bro. Here's my number. Take that too. But yeah, props to Ethan Ewing. I believe he's the A1 Combat Flyweight champion, right?
Okay.
Was he the Flyweight champion?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if he was flyweight.
I didn't know anything about him heading into this fight, to be fair.
I knew about him just because he was, like one of our guys is supposed to interview him. But like my guys interview so many fighters, I can't keep up.
Yeah.
I think was he flyweight? No. He was the interim bantamweight champion for A1 Combat. Okay, there we go. Other than that, he's fought for Lights Out promotion. He's fought for LFA, A1 Combat, obviously. I think United Fight League. He actually fought for Cage Warriors as well. So he's been around the regional scene, and to get a big win like this against Malcolm Wellmaker, who's a massive favorite. I think it was like what, -420.
And an extremely exciting prospect. So a guy that had a lot of hype on him as well.
Yeah, he had like some of the most nastiest knockouts in like the regional scene too. And like that, a couple of knockouts in the UFC. So, he ate those shots and he freaking made him pay for it. So props to him. He's definitely going to be a prospect to watch at 135. I think he will be dropping down because this was short notice on 2 days' notice. And I believe he's going to drop back down to 135. Both guys aren't featherweights, really. So Malcolm Wellmaker, people like to, judge him because of his age, because he is 31 and people calling him a prospect. But he doesn't have much wear and tear in his body. So, and Ethan Ewing, 27 years old, very exciting. I like to see where Ethan Ewing goes next. I don't know if you have a specific fight for him by any chance.
Well, if you tune in here in like 3 hours, we're going to do Who's Up Next. We're going to be matchmaking for Ethan Ewing. So stay tuned for that.
All right. There you go. There's your plug for tonight.
Yeah, exactly. What is up? Scott says, Most, that is awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Most from MMA Holes. Malcolm was too predictable. I think that he is a little limited in his skill set. Just wants to go for that big shot. So it'll be a good learning experience for old Malcolm Wellmaker. Let's talk about Blanchfield getting that sub over Tracy Cortez. I thought Tracy Cortez was winning. I thought that Tracy Cortez looked extremely sharp, was one step ahead of Erin Blanchfield. And then she just gets the takedown, manhandles Tracy Cortez, gets that nasty sub. very impressive, but honestly, kind of a weird fight because, like, again, I thought that Aaron was losing most of the fight up to this point. What about you?
Yeah, Tracy looked good in the first round until we went to the grappling exchanges. It's funny enough, Ange Blanchfield actually lost to Tracy Cortez during their early in their career.
Believe it was
She
her
lost like a
fourth
split
fight,
decision.
and it was like her fourth or fifth fight, and she was 19 years old at the time.
Yeah, she lost by split decision at Invicta FC 34, and then she bounced back on the regional scene. Came into UFC. But yeah, it looks like Ange Blanchfield with this win could potentially get a title shot next, unless it's not Natalia Silva. Is Natalia or Natalie Silva?
Natalia.
Is it Natalia? So yeah, Tracy Cortez. I don't think her stock really drops. A lot of people are still gonna watch her for obvious reasons, but I don't know if this will
obvious
her,
reasons.
I mean, let's be real. Like
there's
the
a
way
lot of
she posts her
UFC. There's a
content,
lot of UFC simps out there.
it doesn't help that she does all that stuff on Instagram as well, thirst trapping and all that crap.
She's a good fighter. Don't
It
get me
doesn't
wrong.
help, brother.
She's a good fighter.
She's a good fighter, but is she top 5? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we see Mackenzie Dern become a world champion, so anything's possible. So,
Yeah,
but Aaron Blanchfield is she gonna get the next title shot? That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, maybe I can't think of anybody else who really deserves it. I mean, Manuel Fierro is clearly the best fighter ranked in the division. Why not? Why not just give Blanchfield the title shot? I guess at this point. I mean, Valentina, we'll talk about her later, but she just apparently cannot be beat unless it's because she landed a spinning kick or tried to go for a spinning kick, got subbed really quick. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Aaron Blanchfield is sitting at 4, and then above her is Alexa Grasso, Natalia Silva, and Manon Ferriot. So, based on what I'm thinking is that Natalia Silva is most likely going to get next, and then Aaron Blanchfield probably going to take another fight. Probably going to fight Manon. No, she lost to Manon. That fight
she got dominated by her too. I mean, do you think Wei Li fights again at 125?
It's a good question because she really got dominated. I don't even want to talk about that fight because that fight.
We'll talk about it. We have to do it.
We're going to talk about it, but
that's the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Does Wei Li stay at 125? Because if she does, her and Aaron Blanchfield wouldn't be a bad fight.
Be a fun fight.
I think Wei Li will still win.
Yep.
But you can make that a fight night main event.
Why don't you do maybe Grasso versus Alexa? Or Alexa Grasso versus Blanchfield. Maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There definitely some things got to
along those lines.
Yeah. WMC says Ethan looked like he had a lot of dog in him. Pumped to see what he can accomplish. Same. Tracy's extra chrome. Oh man. Wei Li needs to stay out of 125 as long as Chevy is there.
Chevy's gonna be there for a while because
it's a good point.
If she dominated Wei Li like that,
we'll see. But we'll talk. We'll get into that a little bit more. But for now, let's move up a little bit. Gregory Rodriguez kind of doing exactly what I thought he would do. Just outgunning Roman Kopylov. Honestly, I don't have many thoughts on this fight. I thought Gregory Rodriguez fought super well. Kopylov fought okay too, but Gregory Rodriguez just a huge human being with massive hands, and like I said, just outgunned Roman Kopylov in this fight. What did you think about this one?
Yeah, honestly, just outgunned him, like you said. Roman Kopylov seems like he can't get that big win, in my opinion. Like he beat Chris Curtis, but Chris Curtis is washed at this point. And RoboCop, he's coming off a devastating knockout win over Jack Hermanson. That was freaking vicious, to be honest. I thought this fight would end in the finish. I thought maybe if there's anybody's going to get the finish, it would have been Roman Kopylov. Like, it was going to be on the feet. But I guess RoboCop, stayed on the feet with him, got the job done. Kopylov might be fading now. I think that's his second loss in a row, right?
Yeah, it is. One to Paulo Costa, in which he got dominated. I thought he fought better in this fight, but again, I thought that it just seems like when he fights the bigger guys in the division, he has a harder time with the physicality of it all. So
You think he should be a welterweight?
it's interesting. I don't know. I
I don't
don't
know if
know.
it's gonna
Maybe.
really help advance his career.
You've had a lot of
But
middleweights dropping down to welterweight as of late, which is really strange, but kind of get it. There's a lot of really just huge dudes in the top of middleweight right now. So I wouldn't hate it. It's just a weird thing because you never really know exactly how you're going to look a weight class down. I feel like when you move a weight class up, you kind of have a little bit more advantages. But I'm never a big
yeah,
fan of weight cutting in general. So I don't know if I'd hate it, but I'm not really sure.
it's
He's
tough
30.
too, just
He's
because Roman
34 now. I mean,
Kopylov,
dropping down a weight class at 34 seems strange to me.
and it's not like it's 10-pound difference; it's 15 pounds. So
100%.
it's a lot of weight to cut. But yeah, good win for RoboCop. I don't know what's next for him. Maybe a top 15 opponent. Him and Paulo Costa wouldn't be bad.
Ooh, that'd be really fun.
Roman Kopylov. I was thinking about maybe give him like a prospect. Let's see if he can beat the prospect. If not, good for him. To not. I'm sorry. That's what I was saying.
Do you
Roman
like a
Kopylov. I was gonna
do
say
like a Shabazian and Kopylov or something?
I was gonna say Roman Kopylov in Bang Sagur, whatever his name is. Cesar Kaya.
Oh, Susurkayev. Yeah, that'd be fun. You
Just to
don't
see
really
where
see a
he's
lot
at.
of Russians versus Russians in the UFC, so I don't know if they would do that. But I would love the fight.
That too. And then RoboCop, top 15. If I would have given an opponent, like I said, I'd probably give him Paulo Costa, Roman Delice, one of those guys.
Those are all really fun
I think he
fights.
deserved a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next one.
WMC says I would love to see the UFC have an atomweight division. Whaley could be a double champ there. You think UFC will ever do an atomweight division?
No.
It'll be a
soon,
while
really.
before you see that. It'll be a while, I think. Even though I think it's definitely one of the best divisions for women, personally.
I think
there
needs to be like a lot of.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You need a lot of women that get hyped up outside of the UFC in order to create that division.
Yeah, I agree with you. Rodriguez staring as a sloth, starring as his. Wait, he says that Rodriguez is starring as Sloth in his next Goonies movie. Oh my god, Baby Ruth. Good to see Chris Cushman.
Looks like Obama.
Obama. Yes, exactly. All right. Bo Nickel gets a knockout over Rodolfo Vieira. Rodolfo Vieira, in my opinion, didn't really show up for this one. I thought his hands had improved quite a bit due to his last fight with Tresean Gore. He had an excellent jab that he never really threw or landed against Bo Nickel. And I didn't think the fight was like super, super exciting. I did like the way that Bo Nickel was able to kind of manhandle Rodolfo in the grappling exchanges. But yeah, he ends up getting that sweet head kick KO, and seems like the Bo Nickel hype train is back a little bit. I'm not too sold on him just yet. Didn't think the fight was that great. Also getting a head kick over a guy that's not really a striker. What did you think about this?
Just want to say you're lagging a little bit, but I got you on the last end. Most of that fight, that sucked because I was literally like falling asleep. I was contemplating taking a power nap in between this fight because I was like, all right, let me get ready for this one card tonight before we get into the pay-per-view. I put my head down for a bit because I was just watching the fight. Rodolfo Rivera didn't really show up. I mean, I think it seemed like Bo Nickel was cruising for a win, and then he just out of nowhere just head kicks him, and that kind of just jolted me back up out of my bed. I was like, "Whoa, let's go! Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready." This is what I'm talking about. He needed that big win. Another decision win doesn't really look good for him. People expect him to be a finisher, which he can be, but it seems he's a little timid sometimes. But props to him. He got a huge win at MSG. Got on the crowd, started flicking off the crowd. I don't know why he was flicking off the crowd.
They were booing him. They were booing him during the fight.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But he got the job done. Got the win. did what he's supposed to do, finish him. That's what we all expect from Bo Nickel. That's where all the hype train came from. This Penn State world national champion or whatever freaking came into the UFC. I mean, first of all, he had 2 nasty finishes in the Dana White's Contender Series. And then he came in the UFC, got his wins, had a couple okay performances. Then he got stopped by Rainier the Ritter. Now that loss is aging well for him because that guy's a top 5 opponent. So for Bo Nickel, what's next for him? That's tough. Maybe you could do prospect versus prospect with Sosakayev. I know Sosakayev called him out. He's like, I want Bo Nickel, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I think maybe Bo Nickel might actually try to grapple him and just hold him down. It might be a boring fight, to be honest. But what do you think was next for Bo Nickel?
Isn't he near the rankings?
Is he? To be honest, I don't really feel like he's top 15 right now.
No, I don't either. But I think you give him like somebody around the 25 to 20 spot, and or 25 to 15, and just see what happens. I don't know, man. I think that either way you slice it, Bo Nickel is good for the UFC, right? Either as a heel or, he brings in that wrestling fan base. So, again, I don't really have super high hopes for him as far as his championship run is concerned. But I do like to see fighters improve, and getting a nasty head kick knockout over Rodolfo Vieira is certainly a step in the right direction for him. Definitely better than boring decision wins or getting smoked by RDR. So, but yeah, let's move on to the next fight, which would be. So you actually had this weird thing happen on the main card. The next 3 fights we're going to talk about are fights in which I thought they would be somewhat competitive. I was really hyped to see these next 3 fights. But during my preview show, I was like, there's a good chance that, like, Benoit, Praches, and Morales could all just steamroll their opponents and just get quick knockouts. I'd end up picking the wrong way on a lot of these fights in the main card. But yeah, you had Benoit Saint Denis just catch Benny real quick, face planted him, landed a vicious follow-up shot. That's all she wrote. So what did you think about this one?
I thought the fight was hilarious. I was just like, wow, that was it? Oh, we're off to a good start, baby. It just made my night easier going into one championship. 16 seconds. But I already knew BSD was going to win this fight. I said it in a previous stream. I forgot which stream I said it on. But I told somebody, I was like, dude, this fight's going to end in the first round. I didn't think it would be in the first minute. But, yeah, Benoit Saint Denis did what he's supposed to do. Finished Beneil Dariush, who's aging right now, 36 years old. Should be falling out of the top 15 soon. I think he might be already. But, yeah, I did not know Benoit Saint Denis was 29. Like, I did not know I was older than him.
Yeah.
I thought he was 36 as well.
You think Benny's done?
I don't think he can't compete with strikers, in my opinion. He could compete with grapplers, but like his chin is it's freaking gone. It's really gone now. Because if you get dropped like that in 16 seconds, dude, I think it's getting close to retirement or fighting the guys that's not really much of a threat on the feet. Like, I think he should be fighting guys like freaking like Jim Miller, Grant Dawson. Like, those guys will probably give him a better fight for him because, they're not really threats on the feet. Gamrot, he dropped Gamrot.
Yeah, I think that Jim Miller probably knocks out Benny at this point, honestly. Like, I don't know, man. I really, really like Beneil. He is such a good dude. Building, building wells in Haiti. Like, just doing a lot of really good stuff. And I know he's got a lot of money. I would like to see him retire personally, but it is up to him at the end of the day. So I think he's done.
Pretty sure he's got a Tesla. He's got a Tesla, right?
This guy's saving the environment. I mean, come on. He could retire. He's saving a lot of money with the Tesla, too. Dead Space says, who had the better head kick, Salkilled or Bo? Salkilled all day. That's KO of the year, in my opinion. KO of the year. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of a similar thing, except for this one was round 2 with Carlos Praches. Leon Edwards, I was kind of rooting for him in this one, honestly, and I thought that he would present some problems to Carlos Praches because of the Ian Gary fight. I thought that he would kind of fight similarly to Ian did, stay away, low kick, jab, push kick. He ends up getting the back of Carlos in the first round, kind of holds the back for a lot of the round, and then Carlos Praches just lands that
Annihilated
shot,
him.
just puts it right down the middle, and lands a follow-up shot. Leon Edwards is out cold. Super vicious knockout for Carlos Praches, man. Definitely something I thought could happen, but that was a vicious, vicious knockout. What did you think about this one?
I did not expect Carlos Prates to knock him out. I know he has the skills to do it, but like I thought Leon Edwards is a very tough opponent to finish, and the fact that he knocked him out was pretty impressive and like bad too. Like I thought Leon was gonna do what he was doing in the first round. I kind of just try to grapple him. Really, I feel like this fight was gonna go to decision. I said it before. I was like, yeah, this fight's probably going to decision right now. But yeah, Carlos Prates. I think he really got in his head, really Leon's head. We were just talking to him the whole fight. He's like, oh, we're gonna stand a fight. We're gonna stand a fight. Leon was talking back to him. I was like, that's not really Leon's game. He doesn't really talk back to his opponents. And then in the second round, freaking Prates just lands a left straight from hell. And it's like he made him like fly off his feet. And then he's like smiling when he's on the ground and freaking comes down, hits him with one shot and puts him out. And I think Leon woke up and was like, oh, I'm still here. I was like, no, buddy, you out, brother. You out right now.
He definitely didn't know where he was.
Definitely didn't know where he was. I think we have to really put Leon in the watch territory now because he is 34 years old. And dude, you lost to Bilal, and then like, not it was a competitive fight, but Bilal definitely won. And then he got washed by Sean Brady. I'm like, all right, he just right now he's not doing great against grapplers, right? He's like, there's no way he's gonna lose on the feet, right? So then he fights Carlos Prates. Like, oh, maybe this is the fight that Leon Edwards gets the win back. He got like 29, 28, or 30, 27. Goes back to his grappling ways. Nope, got absolutely smoked. Bad.
I think it's tough for Leon because you had lost to Bilal, a very well-rounded fighter, in a championship match, but he had kind of gotten punked by Bilal. He only had success really in that 5th round, or at least the later half of the fight. But yeah, well-rounded guy, kind of beats you everywhere, right? Which is tough. Then he goes and fights Brady, gets absolutely dominated in the grappling. And then you get knocked out cold by a dangerous striker. It's bad. It's bad. I think he definitely fights again, gets one more fight against a softer, a lower ranked opponent. But man, I was singing his praises before this fight. I was like kind of on the same track as you. I did think that there was a high likelihood that Prates could knock out Leon. That's how I figured he would get this done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think we need to start talking about Leon as in washed. But it sucks, man, because I think Leon is a really, really skilled fighter. I think he just takes time to get going. And Carlos Prates just the guy's got undeniable power, man.
He's a bad dude, man. He's a really bad dude. And I think if he wins the belt, he's gonna be a superstar. Like he's up there. He has the gimmick. People love his style. Smoking cigarettes and everything. Like he's just so promotable. Speaks English too, so that helps out a lot. And yeah, I think Carlos Prates could get to a title shot and win. If he were to knock out Islam Makhachev right now, strap that dude to the moon because you guys got the next Brazilian superstar right there. Already bigger than like freaking. I don't know if I can say it. Yeah, I mean nowadays UFC is bigger. Maybe bigger than Anderson Silva.
It would take a lot for him to get there, but I definitely do believe he would have a lot of star power if he was able to win the title. Dead Space says we need a custom Leon Edwards bop it. Oh God. Oh man. Jeez. Poor Leon, man. Speaking of poor whoever, Michael Morales just puts it on Sean Brady, has him on the run early after he clips him and hammer fists him into the canvas, and Sean Brady is done. TKO win for Michael Morales. He had an interesting stance He was super hunched over, maybe just anticipating the takedown of
Takedown.
Sean Brady. But, dude, I mean, I was thinking this fight would be crazy. Something crazy would happen, and I just wasn't expecting Morales to steamroll Sean Brady like this, man. This says a lot because I was kind of doubting Michael Morales heading into this fight, and I had always doubted Sean Brady, so I wasn't really sure which way to go. I had to end up flipping a coin, pick Sean Brady, and Michael Morales just obliterates him. Super impressive performance for Morales.
Yeah, UFC. Might have not gotten another star in this card too. The welterweight division is on fire right now because you got Michael Morales and then you got Carlos Prates. Like these two guys just put on an absolute show for the pay-per-view card, especially when you're having the welterweight title at the top. Like Morales is 19-0. He's 26, and he's just finishing dudes, bro. I mean, yeah, he finished Gilbert Burns, but like Gilbert Burns also in the watch territory. And then like he fights Sean Brady, like Sean Brady's a tough dude, man. That's a tough guy. The way he finished Leon Edwards was very impressive. And then he goes in there and just sparks him in the first round. So now it makes me rethink, like, damn, maybe Sean Brady win wasn't that impressive, just because we already called Leon Edwards washed now. So
Right.
Michael Morales, he's dude. Honestly, he might just get a title shot. To be honest, dude, because I believe Sean Brady was the #1 contender.
They're gonna sit down
2.
on Tuesday during their matchmaking, session in the war room, and they got a lot of stuff to hammer out with the welterweight division. There's a lot of burning questions. Where is Shavkat? What's gonna happen with Ian and Bilal? Great fight. Isn't that next weekend?
Bilal?
Bilal and Ian. I believe that is next weekend.
I think it's next weekend, and then this weekend coming up, it's UFC Qatar. Which is
that's what that's when that fight's going down, Bilal and Ian. So there is things. Yeah. So there is things that need to questions that need to be answered. Things need to be moving. But yeah, it's super nice to see the division moving with such exciting prospects. So yeah, we're gonna try to work some of that out tonight on who's up next. But yeah, it's definitely super super interesting in welterweight, which is a far cry from when Kamaru was champion, kind of cleaning the division out, and then you had Colby and him kind of running it back. A lot of guys were holding up the division at that point. So the welterweight division is awesome right now. Can't be mad at all.
It's fantastic. I love it. This is my favorite division right now. Every guy in the division is pretty much a killer, and every welterweight fight that goes down always ends spectacular in the top 15. So best division in UFC right now. Especially with Islam at the top now, it's gonna get even more interesting.
I don't hate that. I think that featherweight's still deeper and lightweight, but yes, at the top of the division, you cannot argue that it's probably the most exciting division right now. Good to see El Enrique says K-1 World Max won the whole weekend by a country mile. I agree with you, Enrique. Kickboxing fans for life. We already did talk about K-1 earlier in the show. It's the first thing we talked about, so run it back if you want to get a little recap on that. But yeah, then you had, I almost feel like we can talk about the main and co-main kind of together a little bit. Not much to say. Valentina steamrolls Weili, controls her on the ground, holds her for about 5 rounds, gets the dub. The physicality and the wrestling ability of Valentina is undeniable. I did say that this fight would probably be boring, but I was also like, Weili is going to make this fight fun. Doesn't matter. Shevchenko, the Chevy truck rolls on and ran over Weili Zhang. What'd you think about this one?
This fight sucked. I was gonna straight up say it. This fight sucked, bro. Like, yeah, I was excited to be like a competitive 5-round fight. If anybody's gonna win, it's gonna be Valentina. I mean, the odds did not do it any justice because, honestly, I should have just bet Valentina at those odds. Could have made some real good money off of that. But damn, 50-45 across all 3 judges? What the fuck? I get that Valentina's dominant, but like, dude, watching her fight, dude, she's so like, when she gets on like top control, bro, I feel like she never hunts for like the submission or something.
So
she's so comfortable. Like,
as a fan who started watching in 2019, or late 2019, I remember her fighting Lauren Murphy. She TKO'd her. That's her last finish, I believe. And I just want to ask you, like, has it always been kind of boring with Val, or was there a time where she was a little more exciting?
For me, always been kind of boring in a way. I mean,
Okay.
it's not her fault that she's levels above the competition, right? But damn, like this fight would really like disappointed me. Just I mean, more of his young side, obviously. Man, it's like, bro, you're the champ, you move up, and then you get 50-45. It's like it makes me feel like there's nobody really for her in this division. And I think it's time for Valentina to maybe move up herself. But there's still one contender left, one or two contenders left. I don't think I'm really too excited, which is Natalia Silva and Aaron Blanchfield. And Aaron
I was
Blanchfield versus
excited
Valentina does
until
not move me.
until Saturday night. I'm like, well, Whaley can just do that to everybody. So besides Manon Fiorot,
Manel Ferrell actually was competitive in that fight, but
I thought she won, but whatever.
this fight had me like really like this fight. We kind of knew this could happen, to be honest. But I guess Valentina, 37 years old, she's still gonna dominate this division for a while.
The issue is that I think Kayla and Amanda are kind of holding up the bantamweight championship, so I'll have to wait for that to play out to see if Val can get her shot.
I think Kayla might maul Valentina Shevchenko, to be honest. She might be too strong for her.
I don't know, man. I don't know. This woman is amazing. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think anybody like just runs her over. But that's just me. So yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about the main event. I mean, really the same kind of thing, man. Islam just dominates Jack via wrestling. And you had kind of the inverse in this fight. You had a guy moving up a weight class, controlling the, I guess, bigger fighter. So I guess it was a little more impressive in that right, but at the end of the day, super boring. Some people were saying this is like watching the Timu version of DDP and Hamzat. I was like, hey, it's not bad, but at least Hamzat landed a little more grounded pound. I mean, both fights were terrible, but yeah, man. Any thoughts?
He broke Jack Della Maddalena. Like you saw in the 5th round, like Jack wanted to cry. He's just like he was so frustrated. Like he had the most like emotional face on. I think his coach was yelling at him, "Take that fucking face off your face. take that look off your face, bro. You need to get in there. You're not letting them bully you, son.
Don't let him bully you."
Yeah, it was props to Islam, first of all. Great performance for him. He did what he had to do. Finish going up the weight. Not finishing, getting the job done, but getting the job done dominantly, right? And I think his performance was better than Khamzat just because like Khamzat had that moment in the 5th round where DDP took his back, and I thought he's gonna lock in the rear naked choke, but Islam did not give Jack any chance at all to look for a finish, or even a threat on the feet. Jack was a broken man in that cage. Like to be honest, like his win over Bilal will always be great, but holy shit, Islam made him look like an amateur. And Islam at 170 is not a drained fighter. Let's get that clear.
Yeah,
and you can see it. He's still got energy to go in the later rounds. So, and people will always say, well, his teams will always say, Islam's a big guy. He should be a welterweight. Well, all right, let's see what happens. And then he just mauls through the welterweight champion.
Do you think some people were telling me that he's going to drop back down and fight Ilya? And I was like, what? Like, why would he do that? He's the welterweight champion. What would be the point of that? Do you think that that's...
Some people tell me that he's scared of Ilya. Like, no, dude. First of all, nobody knew Ilya was going to come up to lightweight, right? It's not like he dominated the whole division of featherweight. Then you go up. Ilya literally defended it once and just went up. Like, that's really uncommon unless you're like Conor or something like that. But even Conor didn't defend his title at featherweight. So people to say that, oh, he's ducking Ilya, I don't think so. Like, we already knew he was going to go up after this fight. When he was supposed to fight Arman, win, and go up, right? We all knew that was going to happen. But he had McClellan, sadly, instead. That was a shit fight. just because like nobody cared for Makano getting a title shot. It was kind of like an easy win for Islam, but we already knew that Islam was going to go up because he didn't want. First of all, Bilal lost, so that made it easier for him to take the belt. And yeah, I'm more excited for Islam at
Well,
170. I do
yeah,
not care for the Ilya fight right now,
yeah.
but Ilya needs some work to do on 155.
Also, something to note is I think that now that Islam is up at 170, you will see Usman, the PFL champ, brother or cousin of Khabib. I think you'll actually see him come to the UFC or make that push to head to the UFC and fight at lightweight. So that's another reason why I don't think that you'll see Islam drop back down. Doesn't make any sense for him. Okay, yeah, a big money fight with
he's set already, bro.
Ilya.
He don't need money. He's Islam Makhachev.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I did hear a report that they actually pay all the Dagestanis in goats, so I'm sure he's got plenty of goats. You know,
Oh, plenty, bro. He's the GOAT himself, probably. That's what people are throwing.
Yeah, some people were saying that he surpasses Khabib with this fight. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would agree. To a certain
It's hard to
extent.
disagree.
Like,
Hard to disagree.
yeah, it's hard to disagree when you list the accolades and accomplishment that Islam's done.
Mhm.
Like, he fought the champ on 145. Vote. Beat him twice. You know, he beat Charles Oliveira at his prime. Beat him in 2 rounds. He already beat Armin Sarukian, but like, yeah, I guess a short notice fight, but you know, it is what it is. They were supposed to fight, but Armin couldn't make a fight, so that's not his fault, right? A lot of the things that in Islam's career, it's really not his fault. Like people like bash on him, like, oh yeah, his accolades don't match up to Khabib, whatever, yada yada.
Yeah,
But like a lot of things that happen in his fights is really not because of him. It's because of his opponent. Like
I
when he was
100%
supposed to
agree.
fight Beneil Dariush and he fought Bobby Green on short notice, it's because Beneil Dariush pulled out. You know,
Yep.
he just did.
Yep.
He always did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I think he definitely surpasses Khabib, and he's on a crazy win streak now too. Some people were saying he wants to have 4 title defenses and then retire. I should have listened to Dana White's post-fight press conference. I'll listen to that before Who's Up Next. But yeah, they have a lot of things to work out because I think that Shavkat should get the title fight. I just don't know where he is. He's disappeared. So
I see some rumors about him coming back. So maybe that'll be that's a big fight. I think you have to do that in Abu Dhabi just because the Muslim crowd.
100%.
And just for us, for the boys, what I'm saying, the US get a nice little early pay-per-view card. Not even pay-per-view no more. It's on Paramount Plus. Or Paramount. Is it called Paramount Plus? No.
Yeah,
Paramount. Whatever. But yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah, Ilya, stay in your division, please. Let's go back to the era where champions stay in the division and like being a 2-division champion actually means something.
Right.
I
agree.
Like, because Islam has the most title defenses at lightweight. He broke the record, broke Khabib's record, which was 3. Now he's got 4. He's doing what Khabib was supposed to do, in my eyes.
So I guess the only thing I really, before we get into the headlines, what do you have any pressing thoughts about One Championship, the great show that we had saw? Any other thoughts on that? We did a really good job breaking it all down. You guys can check out that live stream if you guys are interested in One Championship talk. But yeah, I guess, do you have anything pressing on your mind?
The matchups coming out of it aren't really making me happy. Like, that doesn't really make me excited. Like, this talks about maybe Marat and freaking Superbond for like the 6th time, which is I'm just not excited about.
Takeru and Rodtang again.
I generally do not care for that fight. Like, it doesn't have the same spark for me. So I don't know what's next for Superlek, to be honest. Is he fighting Nabil again? Like,
I don't think it hurts his stock too much, losing in kickboxing, but it was a bad loss. He got schooled by Yuki Yoza. I went and watched the fight back, and it looked even more dominant on rewatch. Had my Superlek fan club glasses off. But yeah, man, he is in a weird spot. Yeah, it definitely is weird, but I also do feel like even more so now, like Malakin and Rug fight getting called off, and then I guess the Rodtang and Nong O fight getting called off was actually good because now they have another fight or two they can headline a card with. But
yeah, just the matchups that really presses me right now. It's just like I don't care for any of half of these matches they want. The only match that makes sense that came out of that press conference was when Yuki Oz said, I want Johnson Haggerty. Why the fuck would I fight in a bill for the interim? Give me Haggerty. Like, what are we doing? You know? Like, I wanted kickboxing. I'm not going to fight the Muay Thai champ in kickboxing. You know? Give him Haggerty. Rotang, book that match against Nongo. Takeru, I don't care who he fights. Just don't do Rotang again. Give him like a
Or
nice
Super
fun
Leg.
matchup again. Super Leg, sure, do that rematch if he wants that one.
No, I was saying don't. I was saying don't.
Don't.
God, who could Takeru fight, dude? I don't even know who's in the. I always said you got to put Stamp in with somebody, one of these guys. So she's a 3-sport world champion. You got to make her the first intergender 2-gender champion on the planet. One championship has the best roster of strikers on the face of the earth.
So cringe. Bro, I don't know, man. It's just the only fight that I can see really benefiting out of this card. It's Rikuya Ampo and Masaki Noiri. I feel like that's a good fight for a Japan card next year, right?
Yeah.
They got a little history there in K1. Noiri finished them in the third round with a nasty battle shot.
No, that's a great fight.
Battle shot, body shot.
Yeah, both been lost on the card, so I agree with you.
Murat and Superbon, I do not care. Please don't book that.
What is Chingy's gonna do now? Because I think he was waiting to see if Noiri would get the belt, and then he'd come back and fight Noiri. But now that Superbon got the belt, what is Chingy's gonna go to K1? Like, what's up with him?
I think Chingy's probably going K1. I think nothing interests him. I think he probably sparks Superbon in the rematch again. I think Chujing is too much for Superbon. Yeah, the division's not that great right now. Maybe the K1 division's a lot hotter right now, especially after K1 World Max.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of new guys, new faces. Unless one decides to sign a bunch of new guys from K1 as well. I know they're going to sign that guy from K1, the Thai dude. You know who I'm talking about?
Hercules?
No. The one that was a champ, but then he lost the last fight, I think.
I don't know.
He was supposed to do Muay Thai, but I don't know. I forgot his name. I don't know. It's just
would it happen to be
stale for one.
Would it happen to be some variation of Petch?
It might be.
another
name.
one of the thousands of Petches that fight in Muay Thai.
Dude, there's too many patches in this freaking.
Yeah, there's too many. But yeah, I think that the event was a success, all in all. And I like one championship. I'm happy to see what they do. A lot of people keep and it seems like a casual fan sentiment. They only want to see the MMA divisions progress and move forward. So I really just hope that one can just somehow develop that MMA talent pool and just get the divisions rolling.
Yeah. Looking at these MMA fights that happen over on Saturday, you kind of sit there and think, well, who's next for this guy? Because I don't really know anybody who's next. Really, unless you're really like a deep hardcore one fan. Like some of the other guys.
And the divisions are so thin. So you're like, yeah, man,
next? Like who's
it's
next?
frustrating. What I think you might see is one of these MMA champions like get a fight in Muay Thai, like right, or they'll do that. They'll do vice versa. They'll be like, oh well, how about we put Noiri in an MMA match? Which, by the way, I just want to say that is working out fantastically for Ryzen. You've had Ashizawa, Cozy, what is it, Kenta. A lot, Man's fighting in MMA. I mean, it's working out very well for them. So maybe that's a route to go, but I don't know if these kickboxers in their prime really are interested in doing that.
Yeah, nah, I'm all set.
Fair enough.
I'm all set with that shit, bro.
I'm with you.
Like it's cool seeing the guys from kickboxing do MMA, but like I don't know, man. Especially when you're young, I'd rather see you at your prime doing that. You know, I get there's more money in MMA, but like I don't want to see Super Lek in fucking MMA. They get slammed and fucking choked out in like 2 minutes. It just fucking makes this is very depressing. Like I seen Ampo get freaking finished in like a minute or two when he did MMA. I was like, oh, this is depressing. Just put him in a real sport. I'm not a
Did you
real
see?
sport. Just put him in his
Did you see
sport he's meant to be
Chachi?
in.
Did you see Chachi? He's like a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Oh, Tenshin Nasukawa talked to me, and he said he wants to come to one to fight Rod Tank." I'm like, sure, buddy.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that happened. Yeah, it's like
It probably did happen, but it's probably just like, yeah, I'll come to one. Pay me, motherfucker.
that conversation
You know what I mean?
never fucking happened. Guaranteed. Never guaranteed.
Oh, I can say it definitely happened.
So I guess that the only thing left to do before we wrap up the show is get into some of the headlines. The Iron says remember DJ versus Rod Tank? Yes, of course. Who could forget? Oh, I was just gonna say we should get into some of the headlines that you got for us.
Let's see. Well, today, sadly, Ryan Bader is out of his fights against Alexander Solikov for the Rising Heavyweight title New Year's Eve.
Man,
that bums me out. I mean, it's not like Ryan Bader always puts on the most exciting fights, but like, I've always been a Bader fan since like his UFC days, so I've always kept up with his career. I always thought he had the most interesting name, Ryan Bader.
yeah.
Like, come on, Ryan.
And getting a title shot in Ryzen isn't like the best heavyweight division, but would have been awesome for his career and was a good American name to have on the card as well for New Year's Eve.
So that's that, and another headline over the weekend, or actually today, that Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul is official for December 19th on Netflix in Miami.
Wow.
I can't believe that fight's actually happened. And apparently that Anthony Joshua already has a fight booked for February, apparently. So I think he's just going to get a little warm up with Jake Paul, knock him out real quick, or, spar with him, depending how this fight will go. Could be just like, hey, don't knock out Anthony. I mean, don't knock out Jake. Just make Jake look good. You never know.
So, I have been I've been a big dissenter of the Jake Paul anything ever. Yeah. I'm finally sold. I like this fight.
You know what? I can't lie. I don't mind it either.
Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right, fine. Like, legit, dude. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Like, fine. Whatever. Let's do it. I think it takes a lot of balls for Jake to fight a guy like Anthony Joshua as well. Let's give him his respect. Makes absolutely zero sense for AJ to fight Jake Paul. But fuck it. Why not? Let's do it.
When you look at Anthony Joshua's record, you're just going to see Francis Ngannou and Jake Paul. The most random fights you ever expect.
What? Yeah. Usyk, Dubois, Francis, Jake Paul. What? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It is the most random like record, and he's like considered one of the greatest like heavyweights in UK boxing history. But yeah. Crazy that Jake Paul's taking a fight, but hey, at least we got a fight, right? I mean, some people don't like Jake Paul fighting. It is what it is.
I hate Jake Paul, but I'm like, finally a fight where I'm like, okay, a guy. I don't know if Anthony Joshua was in his prime, but near it, and a legit boxer. Like, all right, fine, why not?
Fuck it, right?
Exactly.
It's free on Netflix, so it's not like you guys gonna be paying for it. So
also consider like the fight we had booked before this, right? Would have been Tank Davis. Way too small.
I did not care for that fight at all.
So,
but yeah, speaking of heavyweights, another heavyweight making headlines this week. Gable Stevenson is making a second MMA appearance against Kevin Hine at Anthony Pettis Fighting Championship 21 this Saturday. Actually, it's actually going to be his third fight booked since September 12th. So he won his last fight against Billy Swanson in Dirty Boxing with a first round KO.
Fought in LFA.
And on September. Yep, fought in LFA. He fought Braden Pearson, beat him by first round TKO. So yeah, this guy, he's put in the work, dude. So I can't knock on him. He's jumping in everywhere he can to make the fast track his MMA fighting career, whatever you want to call it. Who knows? He might just show up in Karate Combat next. Because dude doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to fight, which is pretty cool. So, and he's very young. I think he's 25 years old. He looks like a star. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He will be in the UFC, no doubt. He's training with John Jones, so this is gonna be one of those Bo Nickel situations where you got a super hyped American prospect that's gonna be everybody knows he's gonna be in the UFC soon. So yeah, let's see how he does this Saturday. I'll definitely get the clip up on the page when he sparks this dude who's 2-1, but 6-1 overall because including his amateur career.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gable Stevenson fights this Saturday. So he's already having his third fight. So that's cool.
I'm
Lorenzo.
I'm excited for Gable to eventually come in the UFC. I think that the heavyweight division really needs a boost.
They need a boost. Another headline. Well, not I wouldn't say the biggest headline, but Karate Combat President Asim, I forgot his last name, Asim Zaidi. He actually tagged us on one of his posts on Instagram saying, Lorenz Larkin fight news. He was returning to the Karate Combat Pit on December 5th, and headlining the card is Sam Alvey and Robelas de Spain. So it's pretty cool to see Lorenz Larkin getting fights again. I'd rather prefer him in MMA, but it is what it is. He's 39 years old. I don't think promote.
Sanctioned murder. Sam Alvey versus Robelas de Spain.
Honestly, after Alvey knocked out Tyrone Spong and the way the Spain looked in the heavyweight tournament, I think Sam Alvey really has a real chance. Like,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I don't know, bro.
He's gonna get slept. Dead Space says, "Good to see Stam still smiling." Yeah, he'd be smiling like Leon Edwards when he got knocked out cold on the Karate Combat Pit.
Yeah, but yeah, I really think Sam Alvey has a chance because when I watched Robelas de Spain in that tournament, he got clipped a lot, and he keeps his hands very low and he relies on that one shot KO. I think Sam Alvey's going to put it on him surprisingly. I don't think he'll finish him, but I think if it goes to the scorecards, Sam Alvey's winning.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I just don't think it'll get there personally, but we'll see.
Because if you watch the Robelas fight, it's like he's really just looking for the one shot.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of irritating. And the guys he fought wasn't that impressive either. So, I mean, he fought Tim Johnson, I think. What's his name? He had trouble against what's the heavyweight's name?
Oh, Zach
Puaga?
Oh,
Pauga? Yeah. So that was that. And I was like, I wasn't that impressed. So I see Sam Alvey pulling the upset. If I would have bet money, I ain't betting no crypto money, whatever they have, cloud bet.
The cloud bet.
I'm gonna go to like some bookie or whatever that might have it. But hey, let me get $100 on Sam Alvey.
Do you think
that's it?
They will have better production this time around for that show.
I would hope so, but the fight's on December 5th, so they announced it pretty short notice, really. Like when they announced Alvey and Robelas last week. So like there's no like anticipation of building up to this card, which I hate what Karate Combat does. Is like should really like announce these fights like at least a month in advance and then kind of build up to it, but they're just not doing that. And it's really irritating for me as a fan because I wanted to see him grow as well. I missed the LED lights. The last show was kind of a shit show in my opinion. Terrible. It just looked terrible. But I was on the stream with you. Well, in the comments, how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you, I'm pretty sure you saw it as well. We talked about it earlier. K-1 announcing the 90-kilogram tournament for February 8th. They got Max Weekers, Marco Black Diamond, who won the K-1 Brazil tournament, Mahmoud Satari, former K-1 cruiserweight champion or Crush, whatever. He's whatever to me. Lucy's back. Mattia Ferroni, which is like a Italian fighter.
Okay.
Theon DeFree, KG, I don't care. Akira Jr., don't care. I feel like they just put these Japanese fighters on these cards, just these tournaments, just to say we have Japanese fighters. Like, let's just keep it all foreigners, man, because there's really no good Japanese cruiserweights right now. You guys are like maxed out at like lightweight.
Yeah.
Giant Japanese fighters aren't that good.
I am so excited for the prospect of Tarzan versus Lucy. Two biggest names on the card, too.
Yeah. Other than that, last Friday, LFA didn't really get too much into it. I saw a photo of Tito Ortiz and Alex Pereira. That was cool, I guess.
Interesting.
Yaroslav Amosov, former Bellator welterweight champion, signs with the UFC.
That's right. Yeah. What was Yaroslav's last fight in Bellator, or was it PFL? Did he lose?
So he fought what's his name? Jason Jackson. Got absolutely smoked by him pretty
That's
bad.
right.
And then his contract was already up, and then he signed with CFFC for like a one fight deal to fight Curtis Millender. He beat him
Okay.
in a minute or two, rear naked choke, and he got the job done. And then yeah, he was kind of just waiting for the UFC contract. So per Nolan Kings of MMA Junkie, he is finalizing a deal, and he should be having a fight soon.
They're not gonna give him one in Contender Series first.
Oh, please don't disrespect.
I know. I'm just messing. I love it. I love the signing. Welterweight.
Yeah, welterweight most
Okay.
likely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But the problem that I have is that I know that everybody's going to be like, oh, another Bellator bum. You know, it's like, dude, Yaroslav, man. The guy is super legit. It's exciting to have him in the UFC, regardless if he gets steamrolled by guys in the UFC. I think it's a really fun thing. And I think he'll do a lot better than Patchy or Pitbull, and probably better than Aaron Pico as well.
Aaron Pico got shot up too fast. It's kind of like his whole career. He kind of got shot up too fast. Aaron Pico. And his Bellator debut, dude fought a dude that's like 8-2 and fucking an LFA. And then I was like, whoa, you guys kind of give him a step up in competition. And Scott Coker's like, yeah, we believe in his 18-year-old. Got absolutely sparked in the first round.
Yeah.
And then, he builds up his Bellator PFL career to a good point where, Sean Shelby and Mitch Maynard was like, hey, we're going to give you a top 5 featherweight in your UFC debut.
No.
Got sparked again.
Yeah, big mistake in my opinion. Never was a champ in Bellator. It made sense to give Patricio a top guy. Best Bellator fighter ever is Patricio Pitbull. If not him, he's like number 2. But yeah, I'm excited for Yaroslav. Do you have any other headlines for us before we wrap it up?
I think that's about it. I didn't really have too much going on. That was really pretty much it. I think the Yaroslav is like what caps off whatever happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing about the betting scandal, thank God, because I hated that whole timeline. That's all I saw. Thank God Harry Mack stopped talking. Not like I hate Harry Mack. It's just everybody was coming at him. I was seeing the drama at that. So props to him getting that story out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been nice seeing all combat on my timeline again instead of this betting scandal.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It was a good weekend to get the bad taste of that out of the fans' collective mouths. K-1's awesome. One championship, still in the wing. There, still hanging on. UFC having a great event, but then two boring main and co-main. So we got just
hopefully
a few more.
This weekend's card is great.
It looks like it's really
nice
good.
Because the Qatar card looks pretty good, and at the end, and then usually, and then I believe I don't know if it's going on at the same time, but it's the Ring Magazine 4 card.
Oh yeah, Benavidez and a lot of good names on that card.
Ben Martinez, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr.
Great fight.
And Abdullah Mason's on that card.
Mm-hmm.
And David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. That's gonna be a scrap. Like that's gonna be a scrap, hands down. I might have to do a live stream with you if you're down for that one.
Yeah, we'll certainly talk about it. We'll see what's on the docket, and you might see a CST and Combat Casual live stream collab for that one. Are you talking Fight Companion or preview?
I'll still Fight Companion because I'm not gonna bullshit you in the breakdown.
All right,
it's not like I know too much about boxing.
Word. Yeah, well, let's talk about it. Well, maybe that'll go down this weekend. For me, I'm going to be doing Who's Up Next here in a couple hours. We'll get that out for you guys. Anything coming up on the channel for you?
A couple of interviews dropping. We wrapped up an interview with O'Shea Jordan from Tough Enough, who's joining the Black Combat Black Cup, like World Cup, which is like, so Black Combat is a South Korean promotion. I'm pretty sure you heard about it because of Isha.
Oh yeah,
and
he says it's the best South Korean promotion.
It is pretty cool. I mean, I dig the YouTube channel. If you want to watch the shows, you sign up as a member for them. And they're doing a Black Cup, which is like an MMA World Cup. So they announced Team USA, and we interviewed one of their fighters, O'Shea Jordan, who fights for Tough Enough usually, and he's 5-2, exciting fighter. meet a bunch of bums, but that's what you do in the beginning of your career. But yeah, we're gonna get the interview out soon. Dude, we got like mad interviews coming out this week. A lot of LFA guys are coming. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, go check out Combat Sports Today YouTube channel for that. Well, Phil, I think it's about time to wrap this up. What do you think?
I think it's time to wrap it up, boys, and I will see you maybe Saturday.
All right, sounds good, brother. Have a nice rest of your day. Have a good week, everybody. Let's wrap it up.
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up.